Hello, my name is Atharva Malji, and this is my submission for the CNS hourly research role assignment/assessment. So my application is basically a web application built with React for a language agnostic visualization application. Without any further ado, let's get started. This is my landing page, which tells you some of the features and how the application works in the backend. Once you click on Get Started, you are taken to the dashboard of the application. Here, you will be able to see the code editor on the left, and your visualizations, once they are generated, will be rendered on the right side of the screen. On the left side, you can see that you have a code editor in the Visual Studio Code style format, so the users will feel right at home. Along with it, you'll have two select options, one for the language and other for the library that is currently supported within the application. For example, for Python we have matplotlib and plotly, and similarly for R we have plotly and ggplot2. And this is a very straightforward application. You can just select the language and your library and insert the code. I have some sample codes that I would like to use to demonstrate how it works. So under Python, I have one of this code, which is basically a company's annual performance visualization. Once you have the code over here, make sure that you select the right language and the right library and click on the generate visualization button. Once you do that, the request is sent to the backend and your visualization will get processed and you'll be able to see it on the front end. As you can see, our backend has done processing of the user submitted code, and we have the static chart in this case. And this is happening in real time. If you want, I can change the color to say yellow and generate the visualization again, and you would see that the new visualization that is generated would have the yellow color line for profits. Along with this, we have support for interactive as well as 3D visualizations using Plotly. I will be demonstrating that right now. So this is a Plotly code that simulates a cost function. I'm going to put it there, make sure I select Plotly as the library and create on generate visualization. You also get this nifty notes to guide user on the format of the code. For example, for Plotly, I would want the users to name their figure as FIG. Okay, so the visualization has been rendered and we are embedding it right here. So it's completely interactive, as you can see, and obviously 3D. And it's basically the Plotly wrapper that is embedded within the front end. So all the actions that you can perform using Plotly are available over here. I'd also like to do a few demonstrations using the R language. So I'll just select R and give some R codes to it. Let's try this one. Put the code over there and hit generate visualization. And as you can see, in a moment, the visualization would be rendered. Okay, yeah, as you can see, the visualization is rendered over here, and again you can just interact with it through Plotly. So that's for the code editor part and the visualization part. If you click on the sidebar for the histories, you'll be able to see all the histories or all the visualizations that you've created so far. It'll tell you the languages, the library used, and the option to open that visualization and have a look at it. So for example, if I opened some of my old visualizations, you'll see that they open up and you have the access. You can just view the visualizations. You can also share this link to anybody and have them take a look at those visualizations also. So it's a shareable link that you can have. Yeah, so that's all about the front end. Let's go to the back end and see what's happening over there. Okay, so currently I am on my backend. The backend is basically a Flask application that is handling all the APIs. And I have different routes for different languages / library combinations for now. So let's just take a look at one of the API route and see how it works. So basically what happens is when the user submits the code from the front end, I get the code itself, the users who submitted the code, and the language and the library that is being used. Once I get that, I'm able to append a code snippet to save the plot basically. And once this final code is created, I'm passing it inside a Docker container, essentially running it inside a Docker container in a very safe environment. And once that is done, the output is then saved inside a output folder. Ideally, you would want this to be saved inside a storage bucket like AWS S3 or Supabase storage bucket to be able to serve it publicly. But for now, I'm just saving it inside my local folder. Once that is done, once the code is completed running, you get the response, and that is sent back to the user. In case if there is some error that occurs during the execution of the code, we are catching the exceptions and then sending that to the user as well. So if the user made some errors during in the code itself, they will be able to get the error trace back and therefore be able to rectify the visualization code. We are using two Docker containers, one for Python and one for R. The Docker files for both are also provided inside the code base. They're essentially just a simple um, Docker container with the respective languages and the packages installed within them. Apart from that, there's also a small utility function that is currently handling the database operations. I'm currently just using a SQLite database to store the data, but again, you can just have some online database to handle everything in a full-fledged application. So yeah, so that's about my code, and thank you.